Shaolin shadow boxing, and the Wu-Tang sword style. If only...
My lord, you want to learn? Well, that's simple. There's a Shaolin gym, also a Wu-Tang gym, both in town.
I'll go again.
I'll go get them, sir.
Hold it. Sir?
Yes, sir.
Some chief. Invite the chief of the Shaolin gym over. I've got an idea.
People too. I also think about the stereotypes that people put on athletes, that they don't have any other talents or anything like this.
Yeah.
And I mean, did you ever encounter that as well?
Oh, I mean, as far as, athletes, we do a little bit of everything. I mean, for the most part, everybody, especially when you're playing at a high level like at Ohio State, you're very competitive with everything that you do. We were competitive rappers, we were competitive chess players. I remember one time they did an article about us playing each other in chess every night because that's what we would do. And so when it comes down to musical talent or artistic talent or other types of things, you really don't have time for it.
Right.
So it kind of does get swept under the rug, and people start revisiting it. After they're done. But I've known a lot of guys who are, singers and piano players and guitar players, things like that.
So like, what kind of wood do you use to make this? Is it just different types of wood? Do you paint the wood?
No, it's wood and compressed wood. It's usually plywoods and different types of plywoods, and I'll just take, a piece and, for each shade I use a different sheet of material. And then I'll adjust the material from there to kind of get the shade or the color that I want. But except for the blacks and obviously the black and white ones, it's all the natural wood tones.
Okay.
Yeah.
And like, who inspired you to keep going and to pursue your art, or who just inspired you to create anyway? Who's your inspiration?
Inspiration. Honestly, I never thought about it. I've just always been creative. I've always wanted to do different things and explore different things, and again, whatever I do, I strive to be the best at it. It's just a competitive nature that I've always had. So, when I fish, I'm trying to outfish all my buddies, we're playing basketball, I'm trying to school everybody else, or even in the work environment, I'm competing with people every day. So it's just, whatever I have a knack for or a passion for, I'm just going to go at it. So as far as artists, and even in the art community, I'm lame as far as knowing who anybody is.
Do you do this as your full-time job?
This is right now my full-time job. So actually, that's even another part of the story, is that I did get laid off about a year and a half ago.
Wow.
So I've been a pharmaceutical or medical sales rep for the last 15 years or so.
Okay.
And that was one of the things that freed me up to have the time to do something like this. So I was doing carpentry as kind of a side job and kind of kicking it around, doing fireplaces for people and building tables and, different things like that. And while I liked doing it, I knew that it necessarily wasn't going to be a career for me. So when I did start in on the art side of it, I knew that this was where it was at. I actually, when I finished the Bob Marley piece, I sent a picture to Dr. Sonia Magnon. And again, I said I didn't know anybody in the art community. I only knew one person, and she was the right person. Our sons actually played basketball together, but our sons played sports together. And I called her up one day and I said, "Hey, Sonia, can you, come take a look at this and just give me an idea of what I should charge?" And I'm sure she got it all the time, but I really didn't understand who she was or how she was in the, how influential she was in the art world. And when she came over and saw it for the first time, she was like, "Percy, there's nobody doing this."
Right.
So that's, I guess, as far as inspiration, that's what got me really like, okay, this is the path I'm going down right now.
What is a message you want to give to emerging artists? How to balance work life and art life? How to keep going out there? I mean, what's your advice to them?
Just keep grinding. I take the same mentality with this art as I do in sports. I'm striving to be the best. As far as other artists and anything else out there and other pieces out there, I have a very competitive mentality. I'm sizing up everybody's work, so if I didn't feel confident in what I was doing, I wouldn't be sharing it. you know. But I like I said, just have confidence, go after it, follow that passion, because you never know to what end it's going to lead. You know, I had a passion for woodwork, so everything I surrounded myself with was centered around perfecting that craft, never knowing that trying to perfect that craft would lead me to something totally different. So, I mean, the future is, you know, right now I have 4 commission pieces that I'm working on. I've only completed 1 so far, but you know, outside of that, I don't know how many shows I'm necessarily going to be doing. Just based on the rate of production, it takes me a month to make these, so I don't know how long it's going to, you know, altogether complete another series and start doing shows and things like that. Plus, these are very heavy, so it does take a lot of effort to try to get these in somewhere. But we're going to just be looking at more creative pieces, you know, more creative pieces. Right now, the fun part about it is that no one's ever done it before, so every time I do something, it's the first time anyone's ever seen it as far as this style. So as far as even just putting my emotions down on a canvas yet, or a piece yet, I haven't even thought about that part of it yet, because up until this point, I've just been doing stuff that I wanted to see.
Yeah.
You know?
That's excellent. And so we want to see it too. So it's like you said, it's like to see African American images up there, cultural legends up there, you know, putting this kind of pose. Like I said, society always pegs him as the thug, this and that. It's not real art. You know, hip hop's not real music. We've always dealt with that.
Right.
But like you said, when you put it in a different spin, it gets outsiders to think differently. That's what I feel. And that's
the route I'm going with it. You know, when I'm talking to people, I'm like, you know, you got to change in your head what's art to you. Art is anything you want it to be. Why when you look at, like I said, I've been to museums. You know, fortunately, I've been to museums in several countries, and when you look at their pieces, beautiful oil paintings, beautiful pieces, but at the end of the day, they're just dudes. You know, their style of clothing, from the way they stand to the way they do their hair is just what their style was for that time. And why do we feel like we're not significant enough to put our style up on the wall in a regal manner in the same position and look at us in a different light? Because we are art, we are beautiful, our style is, you know, impeccable. You know, so yeah.
Thank you, Percy, so much for the interview.
All right, thanks a lot.